Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, to take a look at your upcoming holiday weekend. Labor Day weekend is here. Some of us, it's going to be pretty nice. Others, well, it's going to be rather soggy. Let's talk temperatures first. Here on our Wednesday, the heat still on in this portion of the country. The Ohio Valley portion of the Great Lakes stretching all the way down into Texas. Temperatures close to triple digits across most of this area. Certainly the heat indices in the triple digits, very uncomfortable, but this is going to be the last day for us right here in the Ohio Valley and portion of the Midwest. You see this line right there? Well, that's the cold front moving right out of Canada, and it's going to push the really extreme heat down towards the southeast. Speaking of the southeast, you see this little patch of yellow there? Well, there's a lot of moisture heading in your direction. This is on Friday. It's going to drop temperatures down just a little bit, but we could be looking at some flooding there for you along the Gulf Coast. On Saturday, there's the frontal system. This is going to be right across the Ohio Valley. This is late in the day, and temperatures are going to be dropping nicely closer to normal, slightly above normal, which would put us into the 80s instead of the mid to upper 90s that we have been experiencing in this portion of the country. The really extreme heat will be pushing its way towards the south. This area, again, because of the moisture, will have temperatures a little bit lower there for you. Here on Sunday, the rain moves into the Appalachians. Here's that H coming right out of Canada. It's going to push some really nice air into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and even may make its way down to the Tennessee Valley. It's going to be close there for you, but we're looking at temperatures closer to normal, which would put us in the 80s. Nighttime lows are going to be very, very comfortable for next week. We're going to be down into the 50s, so we should be able to turn off our air conditioners, but the heat on towards the west. Not much moisture, not much precipitation out there. Temperatures are just going to be very uncomfortable there for you. As we head on into next week, now this is next Wednesday, temperatures warm up a little bit there. Not much though, getting closer to normal, a little bit above normal in fact, but still not bad. But notice this area of yellow, there's unsettled weather there, and that will be pushing its way into the Ohio Valley. Now keep in mind, it's been very dry here, and we need the moisture, so hopefully we can get that in for the middle of next week. Now let's talk precipitation. Here's the front. You can see it nicely there, stretching all the way down towards Texas, up into Canada. Behind it, drier air, very moist, very hot conditions ahead of it. And there's all that moisture we see down in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a disturbance down there right now. It doesn't look like it's going to develop. We will have to keep an eye on it. You just never know this time of year. Again, conditions are very favorable for potential development down into the Gulf, as certainly the Caribbean. And that's on your Friday. Here we go on your Saturday. The front pushes its way into the Ohio Valley. Can't rule out the possibility of some isolated severe weather along with this front, because it's the dividing line between very hot and humid air here and some nice dry cooler air up to the north. There's the battle zone, so we have to keep an eye on it. There's that moisture again down into the Gulf of Mexico, and I do expect possibly some flooding there around Houston and across the southeast. Now, as far as your Sunday is concerned, it gets pushed down into the Appalachians, dries out nicely across the Great Lakes as well as the Ohio Valley. Again, there's that moisture down along the Gulf Coast. But notice, though, just about every point towards the west, pretty dry, but it's going to get hot, especially across the Plain States and all the way to the West Coast. Now let's jump all the way to next Wednesday. Remember that area of cooler temperatures? That's where that's happening there. There's that disturbance, and it's going to produce some showers, potentially some severe weather, and it looks like that's going to move its way into the Midwest as well as Ohio Valley. There's a little bit of a spin up there in the Atlantic there across the southeast, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days. Now this is on your Wednesday, so after Saturday, things are going to dry out nicely. It's going to be really nice in this portion of the country for your Labor Day itself. Now let's talk about the tropics. This is where it kind of gets interesting. This is next Wednesday. There's that area of disturbed weather right there. Right now, though, there's a lot of activity. This doesn't show it because this is next Wednesday. In this area, there could be some development. We have to keep an eye on it over the next couple of days, but the models are jumping back and forth. Yesterday it looked like something was developing. Today it looks like they're not going to develop anything, but we are going to have to keep an eye on it. There's a bit of energy there you see near the Yucatan Peninsula. So over the next week or so, something could spin up. Right now, it looks like there could be something along the southeast, but nothing major, as well as there around the Yucatan Peninsula. But right now, though, after that, it looks like things quiet down once again. So there's your Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it. Have a safe one. And I'm George, the Weather Dad, and I'll be back on Sunday with a little bit better idea of what's going to happen for your first week in September.